States. Alex Traiman joins us now. He's the CEO of the Jewish News Syndicate and an award-winning documentary filmmaker. First of all, I think you can't watch that without feeling the joy that that family now experiences, having him home safe. Watching it for you after so many months with so many hostages in captivity and so many lives lost, how did you view this moment?
Even just watching it again now on the TV screen, it was emotional for me, and I think for all Israelis. This is just one of 250 people plus that were taken hostage on October 7th. There's still at least 20 remaining hostages, and we're hoping that we can have at least 20 more scenes just like this, really at any moment. We hope as soon as possible.
I was looking closely at him and his condition. It's so great to see him smile, given what we know he went through and even what we don't know he went through. Alex, have they shared any details about how he's doing, his health condition, and any specifics about his experience these last year and a half?
I mean, as you can see, he's in relatively good condition, better than some of the other hostages that have come out of captivity. There's no indication if perhaps he was in a worser condition in weeks and months prior, and only in the last weeks was maybe given more food. Very happy to see that he's come out. He's walking under his own power and, like you said, sharing smiles and hugs.
What do we know about what the hostages endure in terms of where they're being held once they come out and are able to share their stories, how they are treated, if they're fed, just all of the different things that they go through?
Well, some have said that they receive only like a piece of pita bread in the day. Many are being held in tunnels or were held in tunnels in small rooms without proper oxygen or ventilation, being able to get into them. Some were being held at some point in the houses of Gazan residents, but really just awful conditions. And because it's not centralized how they're being held, every hostage is being kept in a different condition.
President Trump and the administration directly involved in this, but how did his release come about? What details do we know that happened in conversations with Hamas?
Well, you see that the president's now going, he's in Saudi Arabia, he will be going to Qatar and then to the United Arab Emirates. Qatar has not only been housing Hamas leadership, but they've been serving as the interlocutors in the negotiations for the release of the hostages. And it's clear that they wanted to provide some kind of gesture of goodwill, so to speak, by releasing the last American hostage. But the hope is that now that there are no more American hostages, that the president will continue to put the pressure on Qatar and Hamas to see the return of the remaining hostages.
Is there any indication and how soon that may happen?
Well, we're hoping that this will jumpstart additional talks, but I think that what's going to create the pressure is an impending military operation inside the Gaza Strip. Israel's already indicated that it is ready to call up as many as 100,000 soldiers to enter the Gaza Strip. They're waiting for the president's trip in the Middle East to end, so they don't create some kind of a dual-screen narrative. But once the president's back in Washington, you could see the IDF go back in with heavy force into Gaza, and Prime Minister Netanyahu believes that it's only this heavy force that will put pressure on Hamas to release the remaining hostages.
What is the current situation, the status of the Gaza Strip, and what does that look like for those who remain there?
The situation in the Strip is terrible. You have as many as 60 to 70% of all the buildings destroyed. Many of those buildings are destroyed because they were booby-trapped with ordinances ahead of the IDF moving into the Gaza Strip. I've heard from Israeli leaders and from soldiers, combat engineers who were inside Gaza, that they would take ATVs that were fitted with explosives and put them into the middle of a street and explode them, and then just watch as all of the buildings that were surrounding them would explode also, because they were booby-trapped ahead of time. So a lot of the buildings that were destroyed by Hamas-planted explosives meant to kill Israeli soldiers in those buildings.
What is the sentiment, finally, Alex, of those in Israel, especially the hostages that have been able to return and those who were directly impacted by the events of October 7th?
Oh, I mean, it was really just a mass failure by Israel to allow this to happen, and the hope that really that every single last one of the hostages, not just the living ones, but also the bodies of those that are believed to be dead inside Gaza, that they'll all return home so that their families can have closure and give their sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, parents the proper burials that they deserve.
For now, we celebrate Edan's release and being reunited with his family. Alex, thanks as always. It's nice to see you.
Marni, thanks so much.
Still ahead, President Trump participating in this Saudi-U.S. investment forum. New details about this overseas trip coming up, including a possible unscheduled stop. Next.